What's going on, guys? My name is Carrie, and today I'm going to be discussing different types of land to potentially put a new manufactured home. Winter is the perfect time to decide on a lot so that the home can be ordered, built, delivered, set up, and move-in ready for spring or summer. Every type of lot has different regulations, so until you decide on a lot, it's almost impossible to order your home. Today I'm going to talk about the different lot options I'm looking at and what's allowed to be put on each. So if you're looking for a new manufactured home, hopefully this will help you along in your search. The most obvious and common type of lot is the freehold lot. You buy the lot and it's yours. This is a great option for anyone who doesn't want to pay any monthly rent or HOA fees. However, not every freehold lot that you see for sale will allow a manufactured or modular home on it. You have to check with the city staff or a realtor to find out what zoning supports manufactured or modular homes in your area. In the town I live in, manufactured and modular homes are allowed within the city limits as long as they're at least 18 feet wide. With that being said, what I see happen quite often is developers will put a building scheme in place that prevents manufactured and modular homes from being built on their lots, so it definitely can be tough to find a nice lot within town. A lot of times people have success looking for freehold lots outside of the city limits because there are less restrictions. So right now I'm looking at everything that comes on the MLS daily within a 50-kilometer radius to see if anything fits my criteria. My prediction is that developers are going to see the opportunity to build smaller lots within town for manufactured and modular homes to keep homeownership somewhat affordable. However, until that happens, nice, affordable lots are few and far between, so we really have to look hard to find something that works. Let's have a look at a manufactured home on a lot in a rural area. So here's the back of the house, and how you can tell we're outside of the city limits is because this house is only 14 feet wide. So if this was in town, it would have to be a minimum of 18 feet wide. So as you can see, single wide on a lot, and the location really pretty nice. So this is what you want to look for. Obviously, a lot like this is pretty tough to find. Doesn't have to be right on the lake, but if you can find something rural, then you can put a 14, 16, 18, 24, 27, 30 wide, whatever you want on it. There's just less restrictions. The next option I'm always looking at is mobile home parks, which is where you put a home on a piece of land that is leased on a monthly or yearly basis. The great part about mobile home parks is they're built specifically for manufactured homes. They have flat lots with ample room for delivery, and often they're in amazing locations. Another bonus is there usually isn't a minimum width restriction, so we would have the option to bring in a 14-foot wide single wide and end up with a very, very affordable home. I live in an area that's quite expensive, so manufactured home parks, mobile home parks are a great option for a lot of people because they're just so much more affordable than other types of housing. In BC, people who buy in a mobile home park are protected by government regulations on just how much the park owner can increase their rent year over year. So for 2021, it can go up by only 1.4%. However, that isn't the case everywhere. So before you decide to buy in a mobile home park in your area, you need to find out what those regulations are so you don't have any surprises. Luckily here, it's a good setup, so it's popular, and it's definitely something I'm looking for in 2021. If you've never been through a mobile home park, I highly encourage you to take a trip through because they really do have a nice community feel. I don't even live here, but every time I drive in here, people are waving at me, they're saying hi, they stop to talk. And not only that, a lot of times in these parks, the lots are actually quite big if you find a good one. So check this out. This is house we are just finishing off, and look at the size of this lot. You got the nice trees here. So this is why I like parks so much. Another option worth looking at that's going to help offset the rising real estate prices is putting a manufactured home as a secondary residence on a piece of property. 2 homes, 1 property. Way back in 2020, we worked with a friend who put a manufactured home as a secondary residence on a family member's property, and they're incredibly happy with their new living situation. This isn't something that will work for everyone, but we've done quite a few over the years, and it's actually more common than you might think. You either buy a property knowing you're going to add a second home, or buy a second home and add it to an existing property that you or someone you know already owns. The secondary home then avoids the cost of purchasing the land, which right now is an absolutely massive expense. Whether or not there is money exchanged between the landowner and the secondary homeowner is going to be different in every single situation, but I've seen it done in a few different ways. Number one, the landowner buys a manufactured home to put on their property for a secondary residence to have as rental income. Could be long-term rental or Airbnb. Number two, the landowner buys a manufactured home for their property for a friend or family member to live in. Number three, which is the situation I dealt with in 2020, is someone buys a manufactured home to put on a friend or family member's property. All three of those scenarios lower the cost of homeownership in one way or another, which I'm a big fan of, so I think it's a great option. This is something I would look at if the right deal came along in 2021. However, it's probably a better option if you or someone you know already owns the property and you're just adding a second residence to it. Check this place out. There's the main house way down there. I don't even think you can see it past the trees, but up here, we have got Anita and Larry's place, and so they've set up a temporary step. We just wanted to get them in before winter. As you can see, winter has arrived. That's a clip from the home tour I did of their house. Keep in mind, a property does not have to be that big to make this work. That thing is absolutely massive. You can do it on a way smaller property and still get the same effect. Finally, we have park model resorts. I live in an area that's super popular with tourists, and there are a handful of really nice resorts sprinkled around the area that are open for about half the year. The factory I deal with builds park models, and I've done a few of them over the years, but I haven't really gotten big into them. However, I've noticed a lot of people are moving to the area, and in Canada, there's a group of people who call themselves snowbirds who are retirement aged, and they spend the summer here, then they fly south to warmer climates for the winter. So even though the lots in those developments are expensive, I think there's going to be increased demand for that kind of setup when the borders open again and the snowbirds can fly south once again. What I think would be a great option would be something like that that's open all year round. And I've talked to a few people who are thinking about doing it, but nothing has materialized just yet. But you know what? That would have absolutely insane demand. Here's what I'm talking about. Blind Bay Resort. Let's go have a look. So this is Blind Bay Resort, and again, check out this location. So they're down by the water. They've actually got double wide set up down there. They've got some fifth wheels, and then look at this over here. So they've got some park models in there, but this, I stand corrected. They've got it figured out, because on the sign right there, Blind Bay Resort welcomes you, open all year round. Sandy beach, private marina, pool, and amenities. This place has it figured out. It's absolutely perfect. Such a cool setup they've got going on here, but we gotta keep moving because we're running out of daylight. Those are all the options I'm looking at for 2021. I'd love to get some feedback from everyone who made it this far into the video. If you were buying a new manufactured home in 2021, which lot would be your first choice? That's all I've got for today. If you like manufactured home videos, don't forget to subscribe to my channel. Thanks for watching. We'll see you in the next one. And the snowbirds are able to fly south so that the snowbirds can fly south. And the snowbirds are able to fly south.